Welcome to my life as an NPC. I am Scythe, and today we're going to continue to play the ladder. So we are stuck in this timeline, in this path, and we have just been out shopping with Miss McCullough and Hannah. Right. Oh, still a bit tired in the morning, but that is just fine. We have been out shopping with those two lovely ladies and whatever, and Hannah has told us that she is pregnant, which is really strange considering that we know that Luke does not want a child, and he is also will be accused of making someone else pregnant. And what is he? The detective or superintendent or some kind of police personality here in Luxburn. So yeah, he got Luke got his wife and Mr. Lee's wife, his own wife and Mr. Lee's wife pregnant, about just a few months apart. What a scumbag! But now, that is not the horror story we are looking at today, I think. So let's go. Let's see what's going on. Miss McCullough departs shortly after Miss Wright has taken her leave, muttering something about getting a quick lunch before fetching Beruthiel from Chris. I don't know what or who a Beruthiel is. It must be important for her to be in this kind of hurry. And well, she doesn't seem to be fond of small talks. Something we can both agree on. And oh right. We have lost Hannah and we lost a bit on Marianne, but they're back to where we began at least. But yeah, I showed them the picture of Hannah. They didn't believe that it was a ghost, and now they don't like me as much. That sucks. I thought being honest would be a good thing, but no, you have to lie to those ladies. You have to keep them safe. Lunch sounds good, or a walk around the city maybe. But with the sun as high as it is now, no. And after how things with Miss Hannah went, I simply can't muster the appetite for anything at the moment. If I don't do anything with it now, I have this impression it will rear its ugly head again. And by then, things might be too late to fix. What other choice do I have? Ash? Rebecca? In all likelihood, all they give me is a pat on the back and a "See man, go get some sleep. You're at it again," from Ash. Store updated. I talked to Isabella, but I haven't seen her around since she showed up at my apartment 2 days ago. Weird. There is one person though.
Damn, I should have thought of that first.
Father. Yeah, oh, this is the intro picture. Oh, I mean, it looks absolutely amazing, but it is also horrifying. It's scary, at least. As it turns out, I do have another choice. I'm not a religious person. I won't identify myself as such. Or rather, I can't. Sure, my grandparents didn't have to force me to go weekly. I'd happily join them. In fact, most of my childhood Sundays have been spent attending service. It's simply that, as you get older, the more experiences you get, forming your own beliefs on things becomes easier, for the lack of a better word. And at one point, it just stopped. That kind of thing. Nevertheless, I hold no disdain for it. Sometimes, it does help. When things are really, really bad, when the dreams won't stay there where they should, talking does, a bit. It's also a good thing Father Norman's. Well, he's not completely the pious man you'd typically expect. My unlikely friendship only probably happened because he's the kind of guy who's cool with the young ones, as he so aptly puts. And he is, surprisingly. It makes him easy to approach. Like that one time with Isabella. I don't think he believes in the ghost kind, but there he went. Maybe he has something to say about the photos as well. It would be actually really cool. I do like that when the priest is the occult investigator. That is such a cool take on religion, honestly. It won't hurt since I've already gone ahead and went to answer them. At daybreak, on my bike. At the very least, I know I won't get shouted at by whoever answers the door.
Unless someone does that inside a church. I highly doubt it.
Despite its age, the Luxburn Church is a thing of wonder in itself, with its high vaulted ceilings and intricate stained glass windows. One of the many gifts the Ermengarde family donated to the community in its early days. Oh, wow. Okay, that's scary. It comes back to the Ermengarde mansion. Oh, so I heard from Rebecca. She mentioned this once, although most of it flew over my head then. At this time of day, the church is mostly empty, save for a few visitors and ushers shuffling about, some muttering their prayers under their breath. The scene of burning candles and incense permeate the air, giving the place a general feeling of reverence. Pretty welcoming, all in all. Even so, I keep the noise my treads make to a minimum, disturbing the quiet feel like I'm still alone. Oh, I do get that. I did exit the Swedish church several years ago, but when I did that, I also had to go to a church to talk to the priest, the minister there, just to hash some things out. It wasn't trying to tell me to stay in church or anything. We are very Sweden is a very non-religious country per se, so they are fine with me leaving, and they just wanted to make sure that, hey, do you want a funeral when you die, or do you just want to be put in the ground, essentially. And so but going there, knowing full well that I'm here saying I don't believe in everything that this represents, and I want no part of it, it felt kind of threatening, honestly. It was like, yeah, this is bad, I should just run away. But no, I just stuck it through, and now I am not... I don't pay church tax anymore, essentially. Yeah. An usher points me to a pew in front of the altar when asked where Father Norman prays. He mentions something about the good priest not being in good health. Ever since he did a favor for a friend to bless an old house. Oh, that is fucking awful. This is the first time in days he's left his room. No surprise there, with the weird heat lately, even Rebecca caught something. Nervous little chap, the kid. Nevertheless, he leads me close to the foot of the dais, with a reminder not to stay too long before walking off. Seconds later, Father shifts and stands. He doesn't seem to have noticed me, and I have to give him a little tap on the shoulder. When it looks though, to say he's surprised is an understatement.
Stay away.
Oh. Oh, that is fucking terrifying. Oh, I have goosebumps all over, for fuck's sake. His voice comes out in a whisper, almost inaudible in the hush, quite restrained in a deference to where we both are standing. But the tremor is there. He focuses on me with her wide bulging eyes, copious amounts of sweat appearing on his forehead, despite the relative coolness of the place.
Father Norman?
Keep your distance.
Hey, it's me, Zach, remember?
Stay away, don't come near me.
I thought he would look drained, but this is absolutely terrifying. I thought he would just be haunted, but not actually seeing her. It must be the fever talking, or whatever it got. It has to be. I don't recall ever doing anything for him to drive me away like this. Dude, you know damn well why he is like this. In all the years I've known him, he's been nothing but polite. Nothing but accepting of people regardless of beliefs or status in life. For words akin to a threat to come out of him, it's simply beyond unimaginable.
Go back to where you came from. Leave.
Father, what did I do?
Leave now.
I extend a hand to his shoulder, meant to be a reassuring. But he recoils, his ankle catching on the edge of the daze as he backs away. His shouts when I attempt to reach out again echo through the entire hall, catching the attention of the few people inside. I try to keep a level tone, but with these strangers' eyes trained on us, panic starts to weave its way into me.
Stay away, demon. Go back to the hell you came from.
Father, it's okay. I only came here for some pictures I thought looked odd. I figured you might know something.
From my pocket, I fish out the photos and try to hand it to him. Instead, he strikes my wrist away, almost like an accusation, and sends the photographs fluttering uselessly to the floor. Helpless, I can only watch as he curls into himself on the ground, a sad, blubbering mess whimpering to himself. He tips his head forward and begins rocking, his hands clapped over his ears.
That accursed spirit, so full of anger and pain. All those horrible things I've seen. I can't sleep. I can't eat everywhere I look. Go away. Go away. Go away. You're not supposed to be here. This is a house of God. Be gone, demon. Lord have mercy, God, our Lord, King of ages, all-powerful and almighty. You who made everything and transform everything simply by your will.
A number of people have moved closer, mostly as to gawk. Thankfully, as if to save him from being an utter spectacle, two ushers come out, taking him away. One of them, the kid from earlier, shoots me an apologetic look. I can't even return it to him. Anxiety is a powerful thing, a firm little notion that clings, eats, and consumes you. I can still hear his prayers even as they drag him away.
May he keep at bay and vanquish every evil power, every poison or malice invoked against us by corrupt and envious people. And then under the protection of your authority may we sing in gratitude.
It rings, hums in me as I am left to pick up the pieces of this chaos. Back to square one we go. If there is salvation in this, I hope we find it soon. Oh, that was fucking terrifying. I stopped breathing there for a moment just because of how intense that was. That was... wow. Disappointed because he wasn't able to accomplish his mission with Hana, Sakura went to his friend Father Norman for advice. However, in an unexpected turn of events, the priest vehemently pushed Zack away, yelling curses and calling him a demon. The moon is well into the night sky by the time I make it back home. My heavy treads and the sound of traffic outside echoing in my ears, filling the empty room with some semblance of life. Nana would scold me if she ever hears me walk like that, but after today, I really can't give a damn about everything. The mattress creaks under my weight as I unceremoniously flop down on it, and I find myself looking at the paper under my grip. As promised, Miss Wright had my bike delivered back to my apartment. Be there, Hana. An invitation. Found it parked in the racks downstairs with an invitation and a note tacked to it, in fact. Be there, it said. If only if it were that easy. But it'll give me a chance to talk to her. About that thing in their house. With a sigh, I let my hand fall to the side of the bed along with the invitation. I'll think about it tomorrow. when my head ain't muddled with thoughts of a headless woman. Headless? And the haunting smiles of a ghost. Belatedly, it occurs to me I haven't eaten anything since I left this morning. And an empty, gnawing ache makes itself known. But I can't bring myself to stand up. Today was a complete waste of time. And frankly, a disappointment. I don't like this. The lack of certainty, the disquiet, the lack of stable ground to stand on, the part where I do not know what will come tomorrow. Ever since that damn letter, everything has been thrown out of the loop. I wish everything stayed the same. Routine would have been easier to make sense of than this. Closing my eyes, I let the noise from the streets below lull me to sleep. At the very least, that's the one thing that hasn't changed. That's fucking terrifying. The melody carries into the hall long before I cross the threshold. Solemn, but gentle and soothing, a reminder of what home is. Pa's firm but meaningful gaze, Ma's wistful smiles, the warm rays filtering through the eaves at sunset, the distinct smell of wet earth and leaves after a long day's rain, and our room. The room. Ma and Pa's pride and joy, a place where we were once promised several springs ago. Yet it won't stop.
No, wait! Come back! I'll be good this time! Please don't leave! Please stay!
The floorboards are cold under my feet more than it usually is. The walls more forbidding than what I am used to. Farther and farther the room goes. Ma's singing ceases, and Pa... I can't hear Pa. Not above the raucous clanging and the deafening roar of gunshots, nor the screams replacing the comforting soft melodies. There is only the blinding fear. But when the light breaks, her skin has already taken a sickly pale color, rotten most parts, blood dripping from every open gash and lesion on her body. Bony hands grip Hana's neck like a noose, staining the skin underneath with a vibrant shade of scarlet. Nothing but malice fills the gleam in her eyes. What was that? That was a new scream. And I think that's blood dripping. A scream ripples through the air. My whole body feels distinct! Distant. Oh, we're gonna fight a ghost here! Every limb heavy with lead, all unable to move at will. Not even so I can wipe the beads of sweat forming at my temple. The rasping of my breath easily fills the room in the wee hours, while I force it back into a steady rhythm. There is a tightness in my chest that I can't shake off, my heart pounding against it as if it's about to burst out. Something cold has settled in my legs. Oh, that's Amara. A nightmare. This is the origin of the nightmare. The Swedish Mara. It sits on your legs. It sits on kind of like a succubus. It sits by the foot of your bed and just stares at you. I don't remember all of it, but that is the origin of a nightmare. It's the Scandinavian Mara. Not the usual chill that comes and goes with a passing breeze from the window, but one strong enough to sting, shackle, and leave a frigid sensation creeping up my skin. With every struggle I make, the pressure winds firmly around my leg. Tighter, and tighter, and tighter. All until it becomes too much. My heart stops. Another draft sweeps into the room and brings with the iron tang of blood. Oh yeah, the screen is changing colors. Thick. Suffocating. Filling my nose with a foul, sickening smell as I shift my gaze downwards and it slowly comes into view. Both stretches a hideous smile and I bring me with nothing but madness. The stench of gore tints the hair around me and I can't look away. Yeah, from it. Her. From the terror and death that her uncanny twisted features alone scream. I try to open my mouth, to shout, to ask for any help. But my voice has left my body altogether. Someone is rapping on the door. All I have is this painful realization that no kind of plea will ever save me from her. And suddenly, the bed dips! Oh! 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 Whoa! Oh! Mm. Mm. Oh! The brutal plunge back into myself jerks me away. There is no hair-splitting scream, no wild thrashing of limbs. Just a painful, constricting awareness that something has wound itself tightly around my neck. I waste no second pulling it, a blanket, away, but I allow myself a few minutes to steady my breathing before getting off the bed. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. 1 step. 2 steps. 3. But the dreams have gotten worse. Ever since 2 days ago, no longer are they the small cursor flashes that I'm used to, but vivid the ones that linger. I can still feel the blood in my hands, the putrid smell of rotten flesh, the sickening crunch of bones breaking with every movement, and their cold, chilling eyes as they bore into me. I draw in one long, ragged breath, and before I know it, I'm walking out the door. Even in the waking world, it reeks. And let's see, it's October 29th, which is the... Okay, so this happened on the 29th. When was the party? It was on the 28th, so we've already been to the party. We don't see that part again. Okay. Okay. Yeah, exactly. So 27 we visited Father Norman. 28th we went to the party. 29th is now. So between here is when that shit attacked us. They really should. They can't just put in the dates. I think they should put in time, physical timeline showing that you skip 1 day or something like that. Because this is so you realize right away that you are skipping a day or two. But yeah, also I have no fight or flight response. No, I have it. It's been updated. It's no longer just fight and flight. It's also faint, fight, flight, or faint. I seem to have the faint response, even though I bore my teeth like some kind of predator. I noticed it as I was doing it. That apparently I bare my teeth like an animal. I guess to be threatening. But that thing was far more threatening than I was. A bench in the park is far from the most private place for thoughts in Loxburn, considering its location at the heart of the bustling city. But in the early hours of the morning, it provides enough peace and quiet for any poor problematic soul who happens to wander here. The city is just waking up, a little later than usual. But knowing what day it is, one can't fault it for being a little tardy just this once. Yet neither the pleasant morning chill nor the soft twittering of birds does anything to banish the images. Every single one has rooted itself in my head, its claws digging deep in what is no longer a safe place to hide in.
London Bridge is falling down, falling down, falling down. London Bridge is falling down, my fair lady. Take a key and lock him up. Lock him up. Lock him up. Take a key and lock him up. My fair lady. London Bridge is falling down.
Okay, it just continues, but fuck you, kid.
London Bridge is
It used to be easy, finding some pretense of peace under the guise of sheer optimism, following a regular routine. Now I don't know what to make of it. Sometimes it's easy to run, easier to hide when everything's falling apart. That way, you don't have to be the first to witness it when it does. It worked when things went bad with the movie, after all. It also worked with Mom and Pa were taken from us. Though the sentiment are a little hypocritical when you think about my little talk with Miss Wright the other day. But that's just how it is. Maybe it really is better if I just...
Hey, mister.
Well, fuck you. Hey, your tiny voice gives me a pause. When I look up, a little girl, maybe about 6 or 7, is peering at me. 2 wide eyes overflow with what can only be a natural curiosity one typically sees in children. I vaguely note the Saint Goretti uniform she's wearing before returning her greeting.
Hey kid.
Kylie.
Kylie?
Kylie! That's Miss Hannah's goddaughter.
That's my name. Mama said it's rude not to call people by their names.
She then flops down on the empty space beside me. Her little legs, still too short to touch the ground, swings in tune with a song she hums under her breath. I don't mind kids. Nana would have often invited the ones in her old neighborhood to give them treats. Of course, by then Sis and I were both too old to play with them, but you get used to the commotion eventually. It's not completely as unpleasant as most people would imply. Kylie seems to be a well-behaved kid anyway.
Oh, sorry. Nice to meet you, Kylie. Is Mama here?
No, but my big brother's with me. He's taking pictures with his camera over there.
She points to the far end of the park, the one closest to the street where a kid is taking shots of something above him. He doesn't look to the birds because all there is on that side of the park are buildings.
I don't see what's so interesting with the tip of a building, though. I'd take pictures of dogs if I were him. They're cuter. Do you have a camera too, mister?
Yeah, I'm actually a photographer.
Mama said I'm too young to get a camera.
I'm sure your mama will eventually give you one. But won't you be late for school like this?
Big brother will get us there on time. Rowan promised Papa.
Rowan, I recognize that name too, I think.
We aren't going to be late. It's sports day. So it's not good if you keep looking like that today. If it ends up raining and we lose, it's your fault.
Ah! Who says that to a 7-year-old kid?
All right, I'll try not to upset the clouds today, kid.
Is it because you're sick, mister?
Before I know it, a smile has spread over my face. They say kids ask the toughest questions sometimes. They sure do, with how sincere the Kylie looks. Lying feels like doing her a huge disservice.
No, not sick. Just having a very, very bad day.
Why is that? Is that like when my big brother ate all of my pudding? He did that once and then cried. It wasn't very nice of him.
Hey.
Yeah, I think so. You see, there's this mean girl. She's given my friends and I a lot of trouble.
Wow. You're not ignoring the fact anymore. You actually know about it.
Hard to keep up when things are like that, you know? Especially when you can't do anything. It's kind of scary. Makes you wish things will just stay as peaceful as they used to be.
Maybe she just wants to be friends with you?
I highly doubt that. She already hurt one of my friends.
What if she's just sad? Or maybe she just wants help. That's what happened with Melody. I let her borrow my crayon when she left hers. Now we're playmates.
It's not really the same thing, Kylie. What she did, they're pretty bad things.
I still think there's another reason.
This I do not appreciate. I mean, this is very much a Deus Ex Machina kind of feel. Oh, the little kid just happens to be the wisest of them all because they haven't suffered the problems of being an adult yet.
Did you try talking to her? That's what Mama said I should do.
I don't think that'll work either.
You haven't even tried yet. You sound like Rowan. You're just scared, mister.
That strikes a chord. Maybe it's the honesty in their tone and simply in the truth in the words itself. I don't know why, but I can't help it. Loud enough to disturb an elderly couple taking a leisurely walk nearby.
Why are you laughing?
That's nothing. You're a really smart kid, you know that?
That's what I've been doing, ain't it? Go full speed ahead and backtrack when the going gets tough. Stay in my safe zone because that's what I know. Once, Dr. Navarro said I should be the first one willing to deal with my problems before anyone else. I didn't show up on our next appointment after all, after that. But he's right. And though I hate to admit it, knowing what I've seen, but the kid makes a good point too. I've been so caught up thinking there might not be a way out. Maybe there isn't, or maybe there is. But that doesn't mean I should just leave it up to fate.
You better get to school though, or you'll miss sports day. You should have won yourself some awards, alright?
Alright. Can I show it to you when I do? That can cheer people up, right?
In the distance, her brother calls for her, and I took that as a sign to leave. Got things to do, to face. The first few steps, they say.
Nah, I'm good now, I think. Thanks to you. Besides, Mister needs to go. But you should show it to Mama and Papa. I'm sure they'll be proud of you, Kylie.
I will. Thanks, mister. Bye.
I gave her a little pat on the head before heading my way. A small gesture of thanks from a stranger she didn't know she might have helped. She may not understand it now, even though at such a young age she already has this understanding of things. But maybe when she's older, when the world no longer seems too big for her.
But aren't you going to help me, mister?
What?
With what?
Confused, I glanced back. I fucking knew it! Whatever cheer or little talk brought has vanished under the shadows suddenly dancing in my eyes. The frigid air is most definitely not knowing the morning chill should feel like. Bitter, stinging, unwelcoming. And the kid...
What do you think, mister? Are you going to help me?
The ghost actually possessed Hana's goddaughter.
Leave us alone! What did we do to you?
The response never comes, however, because when I blinked, gone.
Hello? Mister? Are you okay?
For several passing seconds, I let my stare linger on her face, waiting for any sign of another change. While all that remains in there is the carefree smile of a child, none of the spite, none of the cold, bloody smile.
Nothing. I really need to go, Kylie. It was nice meeting you.
See you again, mister!
I break into a run. I don't look back, not even as I bump into a couple of passers-by as soon as I'm out of the busy streets. Going insane. This is what it is. And if we don't do something soon, we all will be. The tremors follow me even as I get home. First, let's check the journal. Ooh, we put something in here right before that. Right before this. Zacharias' nightmare becomes worse with each passing day. To help clear his mind of the unwanted images, Zach took to a visit to the park. There, he met little Kylie Suarez, a precious young girl studying at St. Goretti. The tremors follow me even as I get home. I had hoped a little stroll around the block for a few hours would help. Instead, I am assaulted with more images of her. Smiled, the loathing in her eyes, the stench of gore, the horrid crunch that comes with every movement she makes. Even old memories have been sullied by her, and Ma's song no longer sounds as sweet as it's meant to be. In the end, all I got is a sinking feeling I will never be rid of her image, and another ridiculous idea that may or may not even work. The sun is already hanging low on the horizon when I make it back, and for the first time, coming home feels more like a chore. Only I didn't arrive to an empty room. Because as soon as I open the door, I am greeted by none other than...
Sup, Z-Man?
Ash.
I told you we should have called him before going here.
Isabella.
It's fine.
It's Ash and I see first, sitting comfortably on my couch, munching on a bag of chips with both feet propped atop on the coffee table. Whatever proverbial stone has made at home at the pit of my stomach automatically flies right out the window at the side of him. But before any exasperation can set in, my attention is taken by the other occupant in the room. Isabella perches on the only other chair in the room, attempting to make herself smaller, it seems, from how closely she is hugging her arms against her. Nevertheless, she gives me a small smile when she notices my stare. Yet somehow, there ain't any warmth in it like it's supposed to have.
Hey, Zach. Sorry we just barged in here. Ash was...
Relax. Z-Man gave me a copy of the key himself.
Only after you broke the 13th one? I can't keep replacing them every time you think it'd be a good idea to break into my apartment. And stop calling me Z-Man!
Yeah, he's being rude at this point.
I didn't break anything this time.
You shouldn't break anything anytime.
Ash, just because I gave you a key doesn't mean you can just stroll in here whenever you want to. And, hey, is that my...
Ash smirks at me because of course he has the gall to smirk knowing what he did. He pops in what's very likely the last piece of chip into his mouth and folds the wrapper neatly on the table before throwing it on the nearby trash. From her chair, Isabella shoots me an apologetic smile as soon as the foil hits the waste bin with a dull thunk. Common sense dictates that I should be angry. But after everything, having something normal play out in front of me, no matter how childish their antics can get, I can't bring myself to muster even a tidbit of it. Behind me, the television starts blaring the music for the end credits of a movie. They have likely been waiting for a while as Ashes has gotten impatient enough to rummage through my cupboards and watch something.
Of course he eats all of it. You know, I was saving that for the weekend. Did you at least share some with Bella?
Don't worry about it. I'm good, Zach.
Really? It's free food, you know? What was that you usually say? You don't say no to free food? What happened?
No, I'm just not hungry.
I mean, yeah, they have very good reasons for not being hungry at this moment, but that is also kind of a sign of depression, which makes perfect sense here. Ash only shrugs at the question in my eyes. I can't be the only one who finds this vibe she's giving off to be odd, and the guy has no doubt already caught wind of it.
Aye. But if you want something, just say so. I've got a fully restocked pantry right here at your disposal. Still not a 5-star level thing, but for an empty stomach, it'd do. Just say the word.
Thanks, Zach. Maybe next time. Food is not really what we came here for.
You came here for the bitch haunting us?
Ash, he's the one who...
She casts a brief glance at Ash, and in an instant, he sits up. Every trace of amusement is gone from his face as he clasps his hands in front of him and leans forward. A minuscule gesture is meant to ease, yet the grim expression on him tells a different story altogether.
Alright, you two, what's this about? I don't like those looks.
A short but tense pause follows. They're both stalling. Under normal circumstances, I'd wait. With these two, the more you force it, the more they clamp down on it. But as a handful of seconds continue to slip by, the unsettling feeling in me also grows with it. Soon, it turns into impatience. Before I can demand a response though, one of them finally speaks up. It is Isabella who breaks it first.
We just thought we should check on you.
You should check on me! Ah! Fuck you!
After what happened to Rose,
Please don't tell me something happened again.
No, nothing. None so far.
But I need... Why is Ashton so unharmed?
And we're keeping it that way as much as possible.
Ash, it's not that easy. This isn't some...
Isabella has talked to Ash about it. He is responding.
We don't know that. Let me...
The bit of frustration in his tone is impossible to miss, but he catches it as soon as Isabella draws back. He allows himself a moment to breathe before dropping it for one less harsh, more tempered, gentler.
Let me look at this first, okay? I agreed to help, but you've got to let me handle things from now on.
I already told you everything.
There must be something we're not seeing in this just yet. We'll sort this out, but no more silly ideas and running around on your own. You're making people worry more than necessary. Becca, especially.
So everything's fine?
Depends on who you're asking. How are things with you? Anything odd?
Oh, he knows!
Good, I guess.
Shit! Should have talked to him instead of Hana. Shit!
Admittedly, how things went down at the housewarming party last night threw me off a bit.
I'm not asking about that. Remember the letter thing Isabella's been yapping on about? I'm asking about that kind of odd.
Yes. I look at him. Gaped, more like. His serious expression doesn't waver despite the perplexed look I shoot him. There is a brief second I let pass as I wait for the heavens to fall somewhere. It doesn't come. The sky is still bathed in vibrant reddish hues as it waits for the night to arrive. Luxburn is still the same busy city, and everything in my room still appears as it did a second ago, including the unnerving ticking of my wall clock. But if Ashton, calm, cool, collected, always logical Ashton, takes interest in this, something or someone must have fucked shit up somewhere.
Well, the dreams, they're a lot worse than usual.
And exactly what Ashton knows is something we will take up in the next episode. This will go on for long if I don't stop here. So I will just have to cut off with Ash telling us that he knows shit. Oh, I am definitely doing a second playthrough of this on my alone time. Because I need to know what happens when you play everything perfectly. I am so excited for this. And absolutely horrified as well. But yeah. If you want to see something else that I'm playing, you can find it at the bottom of the screen. And remember, just because you're not the main character doesn't mean you're not important.